What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the... We got another wonderful review for you guys. X-Men Dark Phoenix. Before we begin, spoilers.
Yes.
Okay? So if you haven't seen the movie, go check it out before you watch this video because we're talking about everything and everything.
Or if you don't care, just stay around.
Yeah.
Stick around.
Like I said, if you're hardcore, you don't care, you like spoilers.
Hear about that metal high?
Yeah, metal as hell. Then
Damn, dude.
be our guest.
Yeah.
Alright, last warning.
Spoiler free.
Let's
No.
go. Alright, let's jump right in. So, Juan, what did you like about the film?
What did I like?
Actually, let's start off on the negative.
On the negative end.
Oh, we should always.
Yeah. What didn't you like about
I mean, there was more negative to positive
Yeah.
in the movie, but overall, it was alright. But what I didn't like the fact that they killed Mystique right away. I feel like it was a little bit rushed. The tone of the movie was going one direction, and then it kind of just took a different one. You know, with Charles Xavier being the villain, but not the villain. But you know, it was just there was like two. It felt like two stories being mixed up here. But that's how I saw it. That's one of the pretty much.
Definitely missing Quicksilver. Just he was pretty much absent the whole movie after he got injured really early on during that scene where Mystique ends up dying. So for me, that was. I'm a big Quicksilver fan, and
Damn it!
I'm a big Quicksilver fan. I like Evan Peters. He's always been a good actor, and it's probably one of the best parts about the new X-Men movies was the Quicksilver scenes, and I feel like we didn't get one like that in this movie. That scene, like it was literally quick, but that's not the quick that we're used to. We're always used to those slow motions. They make them a little bit more epic, and that's probably one of my least favorite parts. I mean, overall, I understand most of the negativity to this movie is about the storyline, right?
Yeah.
But to me, like outside of that, because I know we're gonna talk about it anyways, it's just the absence of Quicksilver. So yeah.
I think mine was just mainly the. I think I had issues with the storyline. I think like this is the second attempt they've had at the Dark Phoenix storyline. Although this one's a little bit more faithful to how that works in the comics versus what they did in the X-Men Last Stand. I just didn't like. They just couldn't execute it, man. It just seemed like it was rushed. The whole movie felt like it was rushed, especially with the killing of like Mystique. It just felt like it was leading up to that moment. Like they wanted you to know that girl was gonna die. They even showed it in the trailers, right?
Yeah.
So it's not something that's like, oh, it caught us off guard because we saw it coming, and that whole setup of that scene, it felt like, okay, they're gonna kill her off. Like it just made no sense, right? They kind of made you dislike Mystique early on in the movie because of her argument with Charles.
Yeah.
And she kind of confronts him about, hey, you don't really care about these kids. You're just using them as soldiers, and you're exploiting them for your own benefit. And kind of Charles responds is, hey, this is what we have to do. We have to save face because this is the only way they'll like us, right? If we do anything else, they'll just see us as freaks. We'll be outcasts again, right? Mm-hmm. So he was kind of, it was a double-edged sword for Charles. But just the whole plot felt rushed, man. And then there was a big plot hole. Like, Jean technically already had the Phoenix Force. They showed it in Apocalypse, and that's how she physically beats Apocalypse. Mm-hmm. Her and Charles already had this confrontation about him unlocking her powers and stuff like that. So the fact that they did it again as if that never happened. Like, this movie takes place, I think, 10 years after Apocalypse. So it's just really weird, man. There's just, like, so much backstory that they left out. And they just don't even acknowledge what happened in Apocalypse.
I think one of the biggest issues is the fact that this movie, I mean, it's been a while since the original X3 came out.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's like the same thing over and over again, and I think that people just got tired of it. I mean, they with everything that's going on now with Marvel and the success that it has and the stories that they tell and the way that these stories have been being told nothing really has changed for X-Men.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I understand Days of Future Past was a big hit, right?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's the best one.
But I think that overall, X-Men, most of them, I mean, excluding Logan. Logan was a very unique movie from all the X-Men movies. Could have been something like they could have done, where they go more independently with the X-Men. Instead of always having X-Men. Because, you're trying to tell so many stories with all these X-Men in one. I mean, like, I don't know anything about Cyclops.
Yeah, that's true,
I don't know anything about Cyclops. I don't know anything. I mean, Storm.
They kind of did her stories in Apocalypse. Yeah.
All these individual movies that they could have like spread out over the past 20 years that we've been having these X-Men movies, but no, we got the same X-Men, and then we got two Dark Phoenix stories, and it's I can understand why people are kind of frustrated.
It's kind of washed out.
And I need a fresh take.
Yeah. So. All right, so minus the negative stuff, let's go ahead and transition to the positive what we liked about it, because right now we sound really depressed about the way we're explaining. Oh man, we just
the thing is that was the conclusion to that.
Yeah,
with 20 years of that universe, and it was one of the biggest universes that we got early on. I mean, growing up, right? Because besides that, it was Spider-Man. And so it kind of does suck that it ends. I mean, Endgame. Look at the way Endgame ended.
Yeah, and then it ended without a bang, man. So it's I think a lot of us wanted this movie to be really good because I really like this first class universe.
Oh, the First Class movie was
freaking
amazing.
James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender, just those actors. I feel like they just weren't utilized enough, man, in the sequel. So all right, let's jump into what we liked. Juan,
I like Sophie Turner.
Oh yeah,
I like her. I like her Jean Grey. Yeah, I like her.
I liked her better than Sansa.
I don't know. Sansa in season 8 was a badass.
Yeah. No, but I like Sophie Turner. I mean, I don't watch Game of Thrones, right? But I really like her acting in this movie. One of the things, Nightcrawler was really good, and then of course Michael Fassbender was great in the movie.
My favorite,
and then
that's my favorite right there.
What's his name? The ball guy, Professor X, the actor,
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
That dude's a legend.
He was.
What the hell's going on?
He was really good in the movie as well.
But
yeah, no, but I really liked it. It was they were really good actors, and I don't think they were utilized to their potential. But man, they were on point.
Yeah, I think Carlos.
I enjoyed the movie. I don't think that it deserved the hate that it got. I don't think it was as bad as the 20% that it received. I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't deserve that.
It was just as. I mean, I enjoyed it, but my favorite part were, besides Michael Fassbender Magneto, was like that one scene where they're fighting to get into the house, where Professor X and Cyclops and I don't know her name, but Magneto's there and Beast, and they're all going at it, and just seeing Beast go against his own former people, that was just. It was just a good fight, and the use of teleportation and fighting for that teleportation and Cyclops, that was just a really awesome sequence. And so I really like some of the X-Men, like how they use their powers in this movie. It was used nicely, so that's one of my things.
Go ahead, spit it out.
When they break out of the bus, the trailer. They're
the
trapped. That scene where all like Magneto, the Brotherhood, and the X-Men join together in that scene. Oh man, I thought that was so badass.
That was a big like climactic fight in the end.
Yes. Alright, go.
Mine. It's gonna sound kind of weird because I didn't hate the movie, but also didn't like the movie. I didn't think it was a strong X-Men film at all. I think the music, which was probably people don't even realize, they're probably not even paying attention when they go watch this movie. Music,
everybody's tuned out.
Music's really good, and it was composed by Hans Zimmer. Who's very famous composer. He's done Inception. He's done Interstellar. He did Batman versus. Oh, not Batman versus Superman. He did
Justice League.
Not
Dark
Justice
Knight?
League. He did the.
Dark Knight.
He
He
did
did Dark Knight.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he did do Batman vs Superman. It was like a collaboration,
Yeah.
but he was the one that he made the whole Wonder Woman theme. So he's a really big time composer. So when he signed on to X-Men, I was really excited, and just hearing his score it really added more emotion to the movie, right? Minus what the actors could do. His music really made these scenes, especially the scene that Carl's talking about, the train and that big fight. That scene that music that's playing during that scene is really awesome. It gives it a lot more scale.
I was reading a comment on the internet about how they did this slow motion scene with the car flipping with Jean Grey.
With Jean Grey.
And they were like, okay, you're gonna spend 5 minutes on a slow motion, of a car, and you're gonna rock a spaceship into Earth in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
They kind of missed those kind of visual keys that could have gone nicely with the music, because the music, we were listening to it before the video, it's pretty good, and I can understand how those kind of things, they tell the story, and when it's all composed nicely together, you get great movies out of that.
Yeah,
So.
and I also liked. I think they knew this was their last movie, so I do like the little, Easter eggs that were in there. If you didn't catch it, Dazzler's actually in the movie, and she's singing and doing all her light show and stuff, which is really freaking
classic,
cool, man.
yeah.
That's really classic, X-Men, 90s X-Men. That's really awesome. Cyclops. I actually liked him a lot more in this movie. I did like Jean Grey a lot more in this movie. I didn't think Sophie Turner's Jean Grey was really strong in First Class, or not First Class. Apocalypse, and it's
movie
just
was trash.
And even in Days of Future Past, I didn't think it was.
No, she really stood out in this movie.
Yeah, she really stood out, man.
I think it's just she's getting to a point where she's nailing down the acting.
Yeah, she's maturing a lot.
Maturing,
she's done really well, man. So I really liked her. I like the dynamic between her and Scott. I think that was really cool. I wish they would have fleshed that out a little bit more and used him to sort of balance her out, her And instead, they kind of focus on the Charles Xavier.
If he would have died in this movie, I can't do that many Cyclops.
Yeah,
I'm a
dude.
big Cyclops fan.
Which
if
is,
he would have died, I would have lost my shit.
Yeah, I think that's why, and I think people were like, okay. I felt like I said, the movie's just kind of just trying to get it over with, right?
Yeah.
So I think people are experiencing they're excited for a fresh take, which we won't get anytime soon. I think this will be probably 5 to 6 years in the future of the MCU before we get into the X-Men. No, and that's the thing. I think they said Cyclops will be a little bit more of a focus. He will be the team leader, right? So this movie wasn't terrible, right? It doesn't deserve that 20% it got on Rotten Tomatoes. For definitely not
21, but
yeah, it's I'll tell you right now, it's a lot better than Apocalypse. Holy crap, because Apocalypse is terrible. This one's definitely a lot better. Just the emotion that the characters give. I think the fighting sequences are really nicely planned out. The choreography's nice. The CGI's a lot better. It's not terrible.
The CGI was nice.
Yeah, CGI was really good.
Was really nice.
Because I in Apocalypse, Cyclops is like optic blast is so bad, dude.
I don't remember.
Oh my god! But in this one, it looks really
everything.
good.
Like even Phoenix, the Phoenix sequences were not. The Dazzler scene was nice. The visuals were.
Yeah, it was. The visuals were really good. Even the sequences where Jean's flying, it looks like she's really flying. Like the effects of her clothing are actually like flowing and stuff. Her hair is actually moving.
There's certain pieces of this film that should be kept.
And I feel like this movie was rushed. Like just. It's the last movie. Throw it out there. We've already announced it. We've already filmed it. Just go.
They were like, we invested too much money this far.
Yeah.
And I know that they had all those reshoots.
They definitely had a lot of reshoots.
It must have been like, what movie was like that where they did a lot of reshoots? Was it Justice League? Justice League.
Yeah,
and it kind of suffers from the same thing where I think there's a mix-up of all these things.
Yeah, you feel like you're watching two different movies, right?
And so that's why the tone changes so much, and it's like. But
so I mean, for a movie that was just kind of thrown out there, the special effects were actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
for real, right?
I guess just to top it off, do we recommend you guys to see this movie in theaters?
I would because of the visuals.
I would because honestly, this is one of the best movies I've seen in Dolby. I saw it in Dolby and it was freaking awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
The music is pounding, like the scenes where Dark Phoenix is coming out and there's like explosions and stuff, like you feel the force and stuff.
I think that if you don't see this in Dolby, you're gonna feel like it's just another movie.
Yeah.
You're gonna your opinion. I think it would really.
But you can say that with any movie.
Really, opinion. No, I know, but what I'm saying is this movie already has a lot of heat.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah. Like some of the best things that Christian was talking about were the visuals and the music.
Yeah,
the music. That hits you right there. I mean. It's like the beginning of the IMAX trailer.
Definitely. I mean? So like I would try to see it in a large format. If you can't see it in large format, Dolby, IMAX, whatever, then just wait for it to drop like on digital or something. But it's definitely worth watching. We'll say that it's worth watching. Is it worth? If it's going to the theater, watch it premium format.
Like if you're a big X-Men fan, you still have to watch it.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
you'll enjoy it regardless, right? You got Charles Xavier. I mean, James McAvoy did really well with Xavier. Freaking what's his name? Michael Fassbender kills it with Magneto as always. Like if you're gonna watch it for anything, yes, the story falls short, but the acting's really good. The acting's on point.
Sophie Turner.
Yeah, even the girl that did Storm, I was actually liking her. She didn't get fleshed out as much as I wish, but those little scenes where she's sort of like she's trying to work. She's like the median between them. It's like, hey, be serious. Like, you know, I know this is Jean, but she just killed somebody.
No,
you know, come on,
good.
right?
Good.
So she was
really good.
It was good, man. So, let's go ahead and give it our scores, Juan.
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 5. 6 out of 10.
6 out of 5. Damn, 6
out of 10.
Carlos?
I'm gonna have to give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Alright. I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10. Okay, it's a decent X-Men film. It's not Apocalypse bad, so that's already a good thing.
It is.
So go check it out. Premium format, preferably. Not just wait till it's on digital. But you definitely got to check this one out.
Yes,
definitely.
If you did see it, which I hope you did watch it, because you're watching this video, let us know what you liked, what you didn't like about the movie in the comments below. We'd love to chat with you guys and debate if we have to. Even, I mean, if you guys remember some of the Easter eggs, there was a lot that I couldn't really remember right now. Drop them in the comments below so we can talk about it. But as always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Later.